Oh,
Cool.
look at that. Oh, that's nice.
Well, look at that. Look at that. Hey?
Okay.
I had to break the ice.
All right, we're back.
Well, it's happened again.
This happened on Tuesday, and we know it was really hot that day. Hot car. Joining us live in the Alert Center.
How long did you last in a hot car?
Facts that the heat index that day was 105 degrees. Hot car.
We don't yet know about a potential third suspect who was seen speeding away from federal agents at the scene. The whole thing had been a mystery to neighbors.
Hot car.
This is not an accident. This is pure negligence.
Really, mostly about like Hamstone Academy, I think, and stuff like that. Just like
Funny things.
which is kind of
I am so ready.
yeah. We're talking
I am
about like
so
fake
ready.
ads or
My
real
mom's
ads.
on it.
That would be so cool.
My mom thinks it's real. Yeah, I'm telling it's serious. My mom goes, Cindy, what's up with this Hamstone Academy? Does he really think he can pull that off? Okay, and I'm just sitting there. There's people that actually are loving it. It's like, yes, and that's what we need. We get a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And then,
We can pull it off.
The commercials
Look.
are going to come, the testimonies.
There's no reason we can't pull it off because all it is like a workshop, basically. And it can be online or otherwise.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just
They
about
don't know,
how to
but
be a
as
better
soon as they
parent
log
instead of
into our
like
show,
sending your kid away. That's all.
correct, yeah. Don't send the kids away. Send the parents away.
Right, and it can be
Most
very
of the time,
expensive too.
It was the parents that I wasn't fucked up as a kid. My parents were fucked up as a kid. Okay, so what they have to do, they got to go away. Okay, let them go to that blackout because
Right.
the kids are going to be kids,
Right.
no matter what.
Right.
Yep.
We have
Just
the,
like my grandkids now.
we have that 360
So-
wraparound thing that we're talking about where we send the parents away and our team kind of handles the kid part. And then 6 weeks later the parents come home and the kids are fine and the parents have a better understanding of the kids.
Yep.
That's it.
Correct.
I mean, it's pretty
And
simple.
I
And he charged like $10,000 for
the
6
idea of
weeks.
it down the line,
For real.
and even if
Yeah.
okay, I know one big question.
I.
People are going to say, "Well, I got to work. I got to pay my bills." Well, you know what? We got that covered. What are your bills for the month? Let's factor all this in. We may get them people that like the program so much that rich lady that her husband just died. Oh, I'll sponsor some families.
Sure.
Okay, here's your
And
month's bills paid.
I like it, and I like and I want to. I want the idea to remain for profit. There's no nonprofit
Yes,
involved.
I agree.
Because we know how that goes. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and but yeah, and then just encourage people to do this instead of sending your kid away.
But who takes here? It gets back to this again, Mark. Who does that? Who actually right out the gate says, "Oh, we're for profit. We're doing this for profit"? No.
I'm actually the next time I see a parent post on Reddit Troubled Teens, talking about how they're going to send their kid away, I'm going to post that video to them. I'm going to post that
Hamstone
info
Academy.
to them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Oh
Not
yeah.
the kids.
and we can,
The
Absolutely.
kids are watching us. The kids are looking at you, me. They're growing. They're learning that.
And the fathers
shit
are
them
always like, well, he never wants to do anything. Well, why don't you pick he likes to play football, and every time he asks you, you're sitting on the couch drinking beer, doing but you think your kid's the problem, right? No, you're really the problem. You should be out in the yard throwing the football with your kid.
sure.
Well, all my dads were that way. All of them.
Right.
Right, but they shouldn't be sending their kids away just because they think that they're bored.
Right.
Like,
Right.
what kind of answer is that to sending somebody away?
Right. So,
Hey,
let's see.
Marcus, it's like me sending Adrian away.
Yeah.
I would not want to impose Adrian on anybody else. Like
No.
that would no. See, that's the other thing
He
too.
is our Hamstone Academy poster kid. Like, you want a challenge? You make it through the Adrian challenge, you graduate. What? That's it, Marcus. You go through the program. To get out of the program, you got to get through the Adrian challenge.
Right.
And
He'd
nobody
be
knows
perfect.
the Adrian challenge, but me and you. And Adrian's standing right here.
Hey, so I sent in the chat
There he is.
the Hamstone prospectus. If you want to, I don't know if you want to look at it or whatever, because I kind of want to go through it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I pulled it up.
Definitely.
So
Go through it.
because there is actually, it's funny because there is actually some genuine interest in doing something along these lines, like taking the parent, and maybe it's not even taking him away. That might be, not exactly feasible, like to remove, the parent, but some kind of seminar program to teach the parent that it's okay that the kid is being a kid. Like, that's cool. Like, if there are interventions that need to happen, we can figure that stuff out. But definitely, you're not going to send your kid away somewhere else because look, we're strangers here saying we have some idea about how to manage this general situations between parents and teenagers. The benefit is that you're still there, the kid's still there, rather than sending your kid away to strangers who basically are going to impose a total blackout on any information about what's really going on there. Like,
Marcus, I requested access to that doc. Can you allow me access?
Oh. Okay. Oh. Okay, here we go. You should be okay now.
Okay, thank you.
I think so.
Go again, then. Oh, there we go. Yeah, right. I'm in.
Hamstone Academy. It's like transformative parental empowerment.
Oh, man.
So I guess I'll read the introduction. Welcome to Hamstone Academy, where we redefine the very fabric of parenting. This isn't just a school, it's a sanctuary for parents navigating the tumultuous journey of raising teenagers. Sometimes it's you. You're the problem. It's time to let the kid be a kid. At Hamstone, we go beyond the ordinary, offering life-changing programs that promise a revolution in your parenting style. Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
oh, yeah.
It sounds good. That sounds good.
It really does.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then it goes on, the Academy vision, what we're trying to put out to the world. Imagine a world where parents confidently navigate the complexities of raising teenagers, armed with the resilience, humor, and profound understanding. That's the vision of Hamstone Academy. We aim to transform the troubled parent paradigm into an empowered, informed, and snarkily resilient community. Enroll with us and be a part of a movement that's changing the dynamic of contemporary parenting. So there's a few things in this that I think are important. The snarky resilience, which I think is often missing in parenting. The idea that you can kind of laugh stuff off, or give the kid a good real life humorous talking to. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you as the parent haven't gone through or experienced the things that your child is doing currently. Maybe you never smoked weed, and that's scary. And
I actually,
sure.
I actually I dealt with that with the preschool. They were trying to put my kid, she has autism, and I'm very patient with her. I'm very, very, very patient with her. Unlike, I'm not like, oh yeah, listen to the school, public school knows all the answers. No, 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 no. I don't need my kid in the litter box or being taught different things and being taught all this different stuff. No, no, no. So we homeschool.
Well, okay.
Good for you.
Good.
And that's how that's going to stay, because I don't want to go to jail. Because I'm not the type of father where I'm just going to allow the system to come into my home and take my children out without having, they can say, there's flies, or, well, wait, but what about all the toys and the food in the fridge, and my kid's mom working a job that's very stressful, helping other people, but you're, turning my family into DFS for thing. That's the other problem we have in society too, unfortunately, is the system. It's so broken.
It's true.
It's so broken. There's no, I'm for neither side. I just stay in the middle.
Right.
That's it. I have to.
So
it's like they make too much out of nothing.
that makes sense. So we go on with the Hamstone Academy philosophy, and what it states is that our philosophy centers on acknowledging the inherent challenges of parenting teenagers and kids of any age. We don't just embrace the chaos, we embrace it. So you want to gain an understanding that things aren't going to necessarily be the way you want them to be.
Correct.
Life happens and things are weird, and there's new stuff out there that parents aren't even aware of, like as far as like trends and language, clothing styles, music, all of that. And I think people have a tendency to forget as we get older that we also were in those positions. And, I think, perhaps in a lot of cases, the parents who choose to send their kids away, they're either ignorant of, youth culture, or they got into trouble themselves in some fashion and are saying, well, I'm not going to let my kid have to go through that, so I'm going to send them away to a place that tells me that will fix whatever issue that I think is apparent. As a parent, it's apparent, right? It's just apparent that there's an issue, because me as the parent should know better, but oftentimes they don't, and it's not apparent, and maybe you're just not a good parent because you're not embracing.
Got the situation of a parent, right, and a kid like myself, and the situation I fell into, and then putting all the blame on my mother. Meanwhile, she was really trying to find me. But what they were doing to me was not what needs to be done. And they do that, unfortunately, to everybody that goes through the boarding schools, goes through the foster care system. It's all the same thing. Right. It's all the same tactics.
Yeah. Well, in your case, because
different ones.
In your case, because your removal was involuntary, as far as your mother was concerned, because she was out of the area and not able to change things.
My grandparents were, and they told my grandparents that the state of Missouri owns me. And that interstate compact will take over 4 years. And my mom was doing really good, and they kept giving her the runaround.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
But they would instill in my head that she hated me,
Well,
you
it's
know, all
just
this
different
stuff.
different jurisdictions
Right.
and grandparents' rights and that kind of stuff comes
Yep.
into play. And the
It's so sad.
system doesn't have any use for any of that stuff. Like they just know kind of like, hey, okay, there's other people who are concerned, and the individuals like the caseworkers and stuff, they're aware of that, but they can't really acknowledge it because it adds a different element into their program. They can't, like if they said, okay, grandparents, you in this case can come in and take care of the kid, and then what's going to happen then is that they're going to get a whole bunch of more work to be done because other grandparents are going to be like, oh, well, I want to do that too. So they're not really allowed is kind of the part of the issue about how that side of things, the foster care system and removing kids rather than having the parents or the people in custody choosing to send their kids away. It's a little bit different, but you're right. You're right, but the outcomes are very much the same.
Saying you're troubled. That's what the sheriff said to me. He said, your grandparents don't want you. You're troubled. But then I find out in almost my 30s that wasn't the truth. My grandfather kneeled over on me, and, he said to me, you know what, grandson? He's like, listen, you know I wanted you that night your dad was, taken out of your life. But the sheriff told me that they owned you, the system, and there was nothing I could do.
Well,
he was going to pay for a plane ticket, everything. My grandfather was a vice president of Local 1298 Roadworking Union. He was a very good man. He was wealthy. He had, things, but one thing about him is he taught me that, you don't get things for free. You have to work for those things. Even though he had a wad full of money, he taught, how you're supposed to live in life. And he taught me that I have to get a job. And that's why today I work. I've been out of work because my boss messed his back up, and I do flooring. So that's oh man.
All right.
That's a job, man.
Yeah, it is. Flooring.
But I have two kids that need to be raised, and
well, it sounds like you're doing it. It sounds like you're doing it. I mean, you're doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I still deal with the trauma and everything, but it's like I can't, keep blaming the trauma. I got to figure out something else.
Right.
That's gonna kind of put it in another way.
Sure.
Like in a positive way of doing stuff like this, Hamstone Academy type stuff.
Right. Let's get back into that.
That's what we need to do.
So then there's
I want to say something because I want to say that at 13 I fell in love with running away, and I fell in love with the idea of being, living outside and the way people who lived outside. They weren't a part of, they weren't a part of, life as I knew it. They were a part of something else. They were dropping out, and they were relying on sort of, others who weren't dropping out to kind of take care of them in a way. And I kind of like that. And I don't know, what my parents could have done to stop that. Once I got it in me, I was going to run because I could go out there and enjoy that. And enjoy that kind of lifestyle. So I don't know if this would work, but I would have liked to have tried this.
What would work?
Hamstone.
Oh well, the deal is that it's not about you anymore. See, that's the thing. It's about the parents.
That's very true.
So whether or not you had a fascination with running away or not, it would be the parents who would have to come to terms with that and understand how to deal with that, and then maybe even engage in running away with you or figuring out what that really means or what that need really is that you needed to satisfy. That kind of thing. Where the parent can come back and say, "Oh, let's go! Let's go! We're gonna run away."
Yeah.
And
Totally.
so there are these things that were, and they still go on. Their seminars, and it's basically these troubled teen seminars where they get a room full of kids and oftentimes parents as well. It depends kind of on what kind of seminar it is and what they're trying to impart. But, it's a lot of, oftentimes a lot of it like attack therapy where they get a kid up there on his own and have everyone else in the room kind of tell the kid up front like why he's no good and all that kind of stuff. But then they have like these educational, like, what are they? Educational consultants is what they're called, who will get up and give speeches and talk about whatever they're talking about, basically about troubled teens and all that. Hamstone Academy has their own versions of seminars, and they're called the Parental Pandemonium Seminars, a professional exploration into the abyss. In these seminars, there are a series of groundbreaking techniques into the gritty realities of parenting teenagers. And the topics will range, and this is something that we want to build from...
One of the topics would be unmuting your mic before you talk.
What?
Fucking mic was muted.
Who's muting the mic?
That might be a good idea.
Oh, is that Hammy? He's muting his
mic.
mic.
I had my mic muted. I'm over here running my lips.
You know what?
I was too. I was too, but I do that.
You are muted. I heard your ass.
All right, so let's get to the topics. Here we go. So the topics of the seminars are...
Thank God for editing.
Well, I rarely edit much at all, to be honest. The topics of the...
Start at the topic then.
The Hamstone seminars. The topics. They range from unveiling the parental abyss, whatever that means, to mastering the art of disguise, communication catastrophes, decoding the teenage tempest, and using laughter as a lifeline. We also have a post-seminar support that will ensure a continued journey of growth and shared understanding with your kid. So basically what we're going to do is sit you down and teach you about your own kid. It's a 6-week boot camp led by Hammy, of all people. We call him the maestro. We call him the maestro of parental enlightenment because he's done it all through all these trials and tribulations, and now he's a successful grandparent. I mean, some people may question what successful means, but he is indeed he's like the patriarch of this like wild family, and they're not going to some teenage.
I've lived it.
They're not going to some boot camp. Hammy is the boot camp. I mean, so we're gonna pick you up in the middle of the night. Your kids are gonna be in good hands. We're gonna take you on a late night getaway, parents, to a remote, undisclosed location for 6 weeks, and it will transcend the ordinary. I mean, that's it. We're gonna take you away and teach you how to be a parent. I don't know what other option there is because you can't really fix the troubled teen industry itself. Like, that's not happening. I mean, you can. There are great things going on that are shutting down individual institutions and programs that should continue to happen. But if we want to be honest with ourselves, we know that people are always going to take advantage of the kids, and if it's in a professional capacity and there's money involved, it's even more incentive to like start up some stupid program and claim that you're going to fix kids. You're not going to fix the fucking kids.
Because that's what it
They
is.
don't need to be
Pissing
fixed.
the kids off because
Right.
the kids are supposedly messed up and all that.
No.
With Hamstone, we're not saying the parents are fucked up. We're teaching you how to understand your kid.
No, the fucked up
Okay.
thing is like not understanding that you need more education and then just taking the word of somebody who's telling you that you should like remove the kid from your life. That's insane to me. Like,
Yeah.
look, if you're a parent and you want to remove your kid from your life, you leave. Okay, you leave. You don't move your kid away, you leave. You remove yourself. Right?
Right.
I mean, seriously. What the fuck is going on with this idea of like it's okay to ship kids all over the place? Why is that even a thing?
I don't even know, man.
It's not. It shouldn't be a thing.
No.
It should just not be something that is done. Like that's like weird interstate commerce stuff, you know? You were talking about that too. About it's this weird like legal trafficking of people that just should not
And Oregon
happen.
is a big one of it.
Yeah.
And I'm in a huge hub. Missouri is a huge hub for trafficking.
California is as well.
Yep. Exactly.
Right. So
exactly.
But I think it's important that when people talk about trafficking, who are they talking about? Like as far as like who's moving who? Because it's not some random dude on the fucking street that people are complaining about. It's not that guy.
No.
That's not happening. In fact, the people that claim that are oftentimes involved in some really like shady business of their own. Like, because they're thinking, if you're thinking about abducting kids off the street and you're claiming that some other person is doing that, I'd be very wary of you.
Correct.
Like, seriously. Like, why are you thinking about girls' dicks, dude? Like, you're like, I don't want those trans kids and women's or girls' sports. Nobody gives a fuck about women's sports. So why are you thinking about women's sports and then also thinking about some trans kid? That's just like a huge red flag that's even on your mind. Like the idea that you're agreeing to some agency or company that says, "Oh, we're going to take your kid away." Like what? Like, do you know what goes on in those places? Why the hell would you send your kid there?
Right.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Now, in the beginning part of me coming back into the community from having a really bad manic episode, right? Like, it was bad. It was horrible. I called David Keck names. I did, I said some really, really foul stuff. Now, this time around, because I'm working with a therapist, it was a little bit different. I mean, I still came out because I was molested by a gay man at 10 years old, or he was a gay kid, and he would tell me, come to the house and, I'll buy you Jordan sneakers and, I'll buy you all this stuff. And he would just sit there and, do whatever he had to do with me. He'd have it with me and then tell me in the end, he'd whisper in my ear, you say anything, you'll end up in a hospital. And I didn't tell my mom that till a couple of I think like about 6 months ago.
Yeah, but I do want to say, Rocko, that wasn't a gay man. A gay man is into adult men. A pedophile is into molesting kids.
Right, but
There's
I didn't know that at that time.
No, I understand that.
I was just, I was just being brainwashed.
Yeah, of course.
Because I was always like that kid that just, I did exactly what I wanted to do, even before I ended up in foster care. Funny saying, I got threatened to be sent to Provo a couple of times but that was my mom's boyfriend. And my mom seemed to always look out for me. And when she looked into it and found out how they would come in the middle of the night, she was like, oh, hell no. Oh, absolutely not. I'm not going to sit there and tell my son I had to allow them to legally kidnap you. She's like, absolutely not. And, you know, we had a home shut down that I was in before I got out of the foster care system here in Independence, Missouri. So I am somewhat a target in the court system because they were taking my father's money and using it because I was getting pension Social Security because he left his pension because he worked for all them years he paid into Social Security. And I got it as survivor benefits. And I didn't see any of that money. I didn't see a lick of that money. You know who did? The guardian litem, the caseworker. And they were trying to adopt me. And Bill Clinton signed a deal at one point if whoever adopts in whatever state, you know, will get what is called a bonus check. Schaefer talks about it.
Right.
And she's no longer here. So.
Hey, you guys, I have to go. I'm really sorry.
Okay.
I gotta get ready for a parade.
Oh, that's right.
A parade? Yeah.
Oh, it's
we have the yearly Timber Truckers Parade.
Oh, awesome.
It's also the...
it's all Christmas. They get the trucks and trolleys and people to decorate with Christmas lights. There's free chili and hot chocolate up and down the street. Starts in Riddle, Oregon on Main Street. And then runs all the way to Myrtle Creek, which is like, I don't know, like 8 miles, 10 miles. It's a 10-mile parade. It goes the whole track. And then at the end of it, Myrtle Creek, all the participants park their floats and everybody can walk around them and look at them and stuff.
Cool.
Nice. It looks like the weather is clearing up too. It's nice.
Well, it's going to happen. What happens is the parade will get there. You know, it's going to get cold and stuff. As soon as the parade's over, it'll probably start downpouring.
Right.
It's just the way Oregon is. If you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes.
Right. If you're Alexei, get the hell out of there because it's too cold.
Weather in one day. Yeah. You can have one day.
I'm moving up to northern Washington by Canada border. I'm going to be freezing.
You are? Really?
Yeah.
Your balls are going to suck up into your body.
Yep.
I'm not going to have no nuts left. They're going to be up in your gut.
Well, you're going to have to stop.
Up there. I know what happens with fat boys when it gets cold. Yeah.
You're going to have to stop by and see. You have to stop along the way and say hi to Aubrey.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll try and make a stop there. But I probably most likely on the way back down will do that.
Well, she might.
I'm going to try and work. I'm going to work on a farm in Northern Cal.
Oh, right on.
Hopefully in like March or so.
All right. Well, she might just juggle her way down there.
In Canada, I found out all we need is a driver's license to get over and back.
Oh, is that right?
Have all that fancy passport.
Oh, really? Yep. That's cool.
Yep, that's all we need.
Oh, nice.
We're going to stay longer than 6 months, then we got to have a passport.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
I'll just
that
say
means
what
I
I'm
can
doing.
go
I'm
across
bringing this
too.
magic drum, and I'll be gone in 2 days.
There you go.
See, that's another story in itself, the magic drum.
Oh. All right, I got to go, guys.
All right,
love you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. I guess as we call that a show too then.
Yeah, it's about...
Rocko keeps depressing me. We get going on a good vibe.
Well, I know he keeps telling the truth.
I know.
Hey, man, that's one thing about me.
Wrong hole.
You fuck. No, but hey, you want me to start looking at property out here? We could do it in Missouri.
What do you mean by property?
For the,
Stone?
Your program.
Oh, Hamstone.
Hamstone, and we have a great big
property and get it all mapped out. Tell us this is where the whales are. This is where the roads are going to be. Start mapping that bitch out.
Sure.
Hey,
Well,
look, man, start fundraising. That's it. We could start a fundraiser and see
The
how many
Hamstone
people.
music tour.
Yeah. Yep.
Get all these
Yep.
big acts to jump online to support Hamstone, and we got this like
Yeah.
they did in Rogue River, the Rogue Fest. Be the Hamstone Fest.
hey, you never know. But
right.
the more like infrastructure you have, on paper, the better it looks. Like
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
you say, oh well, no, we have the whole thing all laid out right here.
Yeah, we're not telling you that this is bad or nothing, but hey, we can help you make it even better. Well, here, dude, here's the paper. You make it better. Move on with it.
Right.
So,
Well, that's the way we like to do things. We just kind of, build it piece by piece, and then eventually you come up with something. And you're like, oh, and then other people take notice.
yeah, it's like with cotton candy when Adrian started with cotton candy.
Right.
It was a thing. Then everybody, we just step back, and it's good just to watch. It's like, you know what? We started this shit.
Tap and get.
This happened on Tuesday, and we know it was really hot that day. Hot car. Joining us live in the Alert Center.
How long did you last in a hot car?
Facts that the heat index that day was 105 degrees. Hot car.
We don't yet know about a potential third suspect who was seen speeding away from federal agents at the scene. The whole thing had been a mystery to neighbors.
Hot car.
This is not an accident. This is pure negligence.